Okay, welcome to session 4 of the Product Launch Workshop Live. What we're going to do here tonight, we have been working through the technical aspects of your product launch here, and we assume that you have already figured out your product components, so you already know what you're going to deliver, whether it's video or PDF or audio or whatever you're going to be delivering, or graphics or images. We assume you've already worked that out. We assume that you already know what you're going to be writing as your copy. We've actually given you some suggestions if you haven't done that in the first session. We will set you up. We will set up your product launch, your upsells, and your email marketing here in this workshop, and we're going to get pretty much as far as we can. Now we've gotten pretty far throughout the other 3 sessions. We're going to finish up with delivering your actual product here tonight. All right, let's talk about the order of operations briefly. We've talked about this every week, but let's go over it again. First, map out your funnel. Then write your sales copy, then start the product creation process. And once you start the product creation process, the things that we're going to be doing, you should be doing these things at the same time. You should be getting your graphics outsourced. You should be setting up your sales pages. So remember, as you're creating your product, you should also be taking a break setting up your sales pages. You should be doing all of those things. You should be setting up your tracking when you are actually doing this. So again, that's going to be important as you get to this point, because you don't want to get to the end and then have a lot to do. So set up your tracking as you're going. Test your sales pages and your order button. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We talked about the order button. We're going to talk about the testing process inside of Warrior Plus. It's going to be a little different than, it's going to work a little differently than it does in JVZoo. Set up your product delivery, right? Set up your product delivery. And we're going to talk about that tonight. And then set up your post-launch email system and strategy. We might need to go an extra session in order to do that. Now, before we get into tonight's technical things, we talked a little bit last week about the affiliate bonus page, and this is the page that you and I are creating to give our affiliates the opportunity to promote our product. And we're basically giving them a page for them to be able to promote the product and for us to give them bonuses. So we're actually going to find the bonuses. We're going to put the page together, and what your affiliates are going to do is they're going to take this page and they're going to use it as a bridge page, and then they're going to send people to see the bonus page, and then people are going to click through to your link. So we're going to do that here, and this is what we were talking about last week. Now, one of the things that was not mentioned last week that needs to be is that you may want to set up your bonus page on a separate domain. For example, you may want to set it up on a different domain than your JV page, especially because the affiliate bonus page is going to be used by your affiliates, right? And if you're going to allow your affiliates to use any one of your main domains, like if you're going to let them use your JV domain or even your product domain, let's say your product is going to be on one domain, you're going to be delivering it on, in subdirectories. You want to be careful about giving affiliates that domain in order to use their bonus page in order to promote your product. Because again, unfortunately, you don't really have any control over what they do with it. You don't want them to, start posting it all over social media. You don't want them to post it in a way that's going to be inappropriate and then get your domain banned. So what I would suggest is that you get a separate domain and hosting for this bonus page. And obviously, I'm not looking for ways in order to try to get you to spend money. That is really not the idea. But this is just kind of a future concern, and it's one of those things that you don't know if it's going to be a problem until you run into it. And that's the way your affiliates are going to use your domain. Does that make sense, everybody? So that makes sense to you. Please put the number 1 in the question box if you get that. So we're going to move on. You want to make sure that your JV page, as I said, and your sales page has a good reputation, right? It really does need to have that. You want to keep that, and the only way you keep that is when you create a bonus page, you give that to the affiliates. There is sort of a technical process to give your affiliates step-by-step directions. So what you can do on the bonus page now is you want to make sure to give them a video, give them step-by-step directions, give them a PDF, or automate the process, one or the other. Now, I have the process automated, but you can just as well give your affiliates a video telling them exactly what they need to do to use your bonus page. And so when they come there, and I'll tell you this here at the end of this segment, you're not really talking about a lot of advanced planning. Most affiliates are probably going to come to your page on the day of your actual launch. But one of the things you can also give affiliates is an HTML template for them to put on their domains. In other words, you're going to put the entire bonus page together, but you do it in HTML. Now, if you have to do that, if you're on WordPress, let's say you're using InstaBuilder, or you're using something like OptimizePress. Now, I think InstaBuilder will allow you to export your templates to HTML. OptimizePress will not. So you would have to have an HTML template either made, or you would have to have your template made into an HTML template. And I've actually had that done. I think it costs maybe about $15. I had someone from the Philippines to do it. There's a gentleman that I know very well over the years, and what he has done is he works with WordPress, so turning that template into HTML so that my affiliates could use it was no problem. You'll be able to find someone fairly easy that can actually do that, and it really should not cost you a lot of money to do. You can also give your affiliates a template for their favorite page builder. Again, you're basically taking the bonus page concept, and what you're doing is you're putting it in these different templates and these different page builders. So, for example, what you could do is you could do an InstaBuilder template. Now, if you're going to do that, I would suggest that you actually have that outsourced. Again, you can find people. I would go to the Warriors for Hire section, and you can find people who can actually do this work. You're going to actually do the bonus page, and you're going to say to them, I need to have this bonus page put into an InstaBuilder template, or whatever it is that people use on InstaBuilder. You can have one done for OptimizePress, and that's actually pretty easy to do for OptimizePress. And if your user already has OptimizePress, then all you're really going to have to do is export the template, right? And let me show you that here for a second. So, for example, if we go to, I'm going to find a page on OptimizePress, and let's see, one second, we'll find a page on OptimizePress here, and what we'll do is I want to show you pretty much all you're going to have to do with your pages. And what you're going to do here inside of OptimizePress is you're going to go to the dashboard. And when you go to the dashboard, there are your content templates. And we're gonna open up a page here in OptimizePress. Let's do it this way. Open up a page. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the content templates, and we're going to export a template. And when you export a template, what that's going to do is that's going to give you the opportunity to give people an OptimizePress template, right? So you're going to take your basic page and export it, and you're going to make that whole file downloadable for people who use OptimizePress. And all you're really doing is making it easy for your affiliates when you do that. So you're just going to export your entire bonus page and give it to your affiliates. They'll be able to put it onto their version of OptimizePress, and then they will be able to use that bonus page in order to promote. I know that a number of people have purchased Conversely, and I don't know if they have templates, but if you know that a lot of your affiliates have this and they use it, then this is going to be something that you'll want to do. So again, all you're really trying to do is make it easy for your affiliates. I think if you do one of these in HTML, then you're going to be in good shape, right? So I think that's all you're really going to have in order to use that template properly. Okay, the technical process is going to involve placing a code on your JV page, which directs them to the parameters, to the bonus page. Again, that's a really technical process. I'm going to actually have to show you this in a separate video. We could probably take an entire hour just to show you that process. We're not going to go through that process. This is an automation piece to the bonus page part, and it gives you the opportunity to just make it really easy for your affiliates, right? Okay. Now here's the most important part to this. When you create this bonus page for your affiliates, and I didn't say this last week, and I guess this is really kind of an important part of it. Your affiliates are not going to come to your bonus page an hour before. They're probably not going to come the day before. They're probably going to come about 15 to 30 minutes before they send an actual email on the day of your launch. So you have to make this bonus page part extremely easy for them to operate. I mean, you can't leave any ambiguity. It has to be very streamlined. And so I'm really in favor of, when you're going to do this bonus page, either HTML and one format, right? Typically I might do optimized press and HTML. Sometimes I don't do optimized press at all, right? Because again, it's just one more thing for them to do, and when they've got about 15 minutes, they've got to write the email, they're going to opt for the easiest option. I want to talk to you a little bit about collecting testimonials also, and we breeze over that, but it's one of those things that is an easy thing to understand, but you do have to know how to do it, and it's not necessarily an easy thing. What you have to try to do is to make it part of the buying process. So in other words, you want to have some kind of automated follow-up, probably within the first 14 to 21 days after the purchase of a product. Make it a part of the buying process if you can. And then what you want to do is you want to tell people, right? You want to tell people, I have not in the past given an incentive in the past, right? That has not been my thing, to give an incentive for testimonials. There's nothing wrong with it. Right, there's nothing wrong with you giving I would say an incentive, but just don't give away too much. You don't want it to be the kind of thing where people are getting something in order to say something nice about you. You really want to get honest feedback. Now, you don't have to use everybody's feedback, but you want to get honest feedback. You do not want to be on record as having said, hey, you know what, you're going to get this really cool thing if you say something good about my product. That's too close to the line, and there are probably going to be enough people who are willing to say something good. You just got to give them the opportunity, but you can give an incentive. Just don't give it until the end. Use a tool to do this if possible. There are software programs, there are services that are available. Probably one of the best ones that I've seen recently has been called Review Trust. I don't know if any of you all have heard of that. Now, it is a paid service. Right, it is a paid service. I think it's $39 or $37 a month, so it's not necessarily going to be free, but it automates this process and it helps you to normalize it. So in other words, if you're going to sell a product, Review Trust is going to send out an email saying, hey, we want to get your honest feedback about this purchase. And of course, there are tools available where you can just collect these testimonials using HTML, that you can stick that code onto your website. But the collection process is the key, right? And it's really making it a normal part of your business. And so if you make it a normal part of your business, you're going to get testimonials a lot faster and a lot easier, and that's really what you want. Now, you're going to get feedback that maybe you don't like, but all that feedback is going to be good anyway, right? So you don't have to run from the feedback. You're going to get it. You just want to make sure that you do it systematically as part of the process. Okay, so we want to do some positive testimonials in order to increase sales. That you are going to see increased sales as a result of your getting testimonials, right? So again, this is going to be worth your time to do. And so do want to try to do it, and you want to try to do this in a way that is going to actually help you, again, make it a part of your normal sales process, and this is really going to work well, and you will have things to put on your sales pages as you continue to do product. And then, as you do this, continually improve the process. Again, testimonials are the hardest thing to do, right? Out of all the things you're going to do, probably the most difficult thing you're going to do is to collect testimonials on a regular basis. And again, the more that you can normalize the process, the easier it's going to be. I think that when you are in a certain position in your business, I would suggest a solution like Review Trust. There's a monthly fee for that service, and the reason that this service is probably going to be monthly is because it's going to be worth the money. And if you think about it, I think it's $30 or $40 a month, you could conceivably have at least 1 or 2 sales that justify that amount. And again, I can't make promises, but again, using a service like this that again makes it a normal part of the process for all your customers, giving you the opportunity to place that code someplace else and tell people that, hey, there are other people who like this, that will increase your sales. Okay, so this week what I want to talk about here is going to be delivering your content. And we're going to run through all these things. And this is really the end of the process, right? This is the end of the process. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to run through these last things that you're going to need in order to launch your product. Now, the first thing we want to talk about here is setting up a download page. And a download page does not have to be complicated, right? In fact, it shouldn't be, right? And in fact, it's a good thing. Now, here is, and it's not the prettiest download page in the world, but this is a download page, right? And I'm doing this inside of OptimizePress. I've got 3 buttons here where people can come and download things, right? That's really all that you're going to want to need. You want to say something like download your item, putting in a button, right? I'm going to make this button clickable. I'm going to put the link to that button right on that page. So again, probably the first thing you're going to do in this process is set up a download page, right? And again, don't try to make this too intricate, right? At the very top, make sure that whatever you have promised your buyer that they're getting, right? Give it to them right up top. When you get up under here, now this is an older download page that we've had. You can make available some of your other products, right? You can make them, you can get clickable links to your other products. Now, one of the aspects of this is that you can choose to do this in 1 or 2 ways. If you put a link in here, if you put what's called a naked link in here, what's going to happen is your affiliates are going to get credit for these sales, right? If you put an affiliate link in here or you put your own tracking link in here, then you are going to get the residual sales. Now again, that's going to be your choice. You can put these links in here, and again, this is a long-term thing. The more money that your affiliates make, the more opportunities they have to make money, the more they'll be apt to promote for you, right? Does that make sense? So what you're trying to do on the download page is, yes, you want to make sales. And one of the things I want to talk about here, and I have it here kind of on these last few thoughts here at the very last thing that I said, when you're doing a product launch, you have 2 sets of concerns. You have your clients and your partners. And so every time your partner makes a sale, what you're doing is you're putting one more nail in the coffin that says, hey, you know what, this person is more than likely to promote for me again, right? So again, when you put your products down here, you've got the choice of putting a naked link here, you can do it. Right? Does that make sense? So if everybody sort of understands just the basic download page, please put the letter number 1 in the question box. Oh, good. Okay, so Chantel is asking, that's a great question. Can you explain how to make the links for your affiliate? Okay, great. So product that was being launched was the OptimizePress PLR package, right? Let's just say that package would be this. I had affiliates to promote this, so what I would do is I would get this link, which is just the link page, right? I would get that link. And the reason I would get that link and I would put that link here is because I don't want to put any link that's going to cause my affiliate not to get credit. And so the way you do that is you make sure that you put the exact sales page. You want to put whatever sales page that your affiliates were sending traffic to. Now, this is the link that affiliates were sending traffic to. So the way this works is that when you buy through somebody's affiliate link on your browser, right, there's a cookie on your browser, and that cookie will stay with you as long as that affiliate does not click another affiliate link. Now, as soon as that affiliate clicks another affiliate link, then it wipes out the cookie. So if you put your own affiliate link here, your tracking link, it's going to wipe out your affiliate link for your cookie, right? So all you need to do is you need to put here is the naked link so that your affiliate will come to that page and then get paid. Right? Does that make sense, Chantel? Yeah, exactly. So Chantel's question was, so is this the original link? And the answer to that question is yes. It is the original link. Let's say that you decided, well, I don't want to put the original link there. I want to be the one to get the commission, right? And in some cases, you might do that, right? You might say, now all the products that I sell here, I want to be residual sales. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into Warrior Plus right now. I'm just going to show you how to create a tracking link. All right, so I'm going to go here, and how many of you all can see here inside of Warrior Plus where it says vendor tracking link? So if you see that, please put the number 2 in the question box. Okay, right. So what you would do here is you would click this. And you would say something like download page. Right, and then I would take this link and I would put that link here. Then what's going to happen is even if my affiliates, because when they get to this download page, they're going to be cookied for the affiliate. Right, and so you can decide to give your affiliate this extra commission, or you could decide, well, you're going to get paid for this. Right, now in most cases, you're probably going to give it to the affiliates in most cases, but there are going to be some cases where, again, you're going to have some parts of the offer. Let's say that all of these offers are going to be $37, but then you got this one offer down here. And this offer is going to be $997. And you might say, you know what? For this offer, they're going to go to a webinar, so I'm not going to share that offer with affiliates. I'm going to make sure that I get 100% of that offer. And that's the case. You're going to use a vendor tracking link instead of the original link. Okay, so we've covered a download page. Now, what I have suggested is that one of the ways that you can, now one of the things you're going to be concerned about is keeping the content locked, right? And so one of the things about this particular bonus page, let's see, I'm going to click this link. This download page is actually blocked from the search engines, right? It's blocked from the search engines, but I mean, there are ways for people to be able to get a hold of it. And sometimes you don't want anybody to get a hold of that download page except for the people who are buying your product. Right, and sometimes people like to share. People like to share stuff, and there are 2 ways to deal with that. Number one, you could use a membership script. You could use something like you can use Optimized Member if you have Optimized Press. You can use Wishlist Member. You can use S2 Member. You can use any or MemberSonic, whatever membership script you have. What that will do is that will lock up this page so that the only person that can get to it will actually purchase your product. I have here that there is a very easy to use WordPress plugin. It's called Download Express. I think it's by Mark Hess, and it is very easy to use. And it will very simply give people, the only people who have access to your download page are going to be the people who actually purchase the product. Right? So again, if you want the simplest solution for a single product, I think Download Express will help you. If you're willing to do a little technical work or you're willing to outsource it, I would suggest using a membership script, right, for your download page, right? Same thing is going to be true with your thank you page. You can use a membership script for that. Now, again, I talked about the fact that let's say that you don't want to use either one of those, right? You don't want to use any plugins. You don't want to use anything like that. The only thing that you can do is you can make your URL unique. Now you'll notice here I've got download leveraging PLR video -2, right? And that's probably not going to be all that easy in order to memorize, and that's really all you're trying to do. You might want to put a number in your URL. You can put a random code in your URL, and let me show you where to do that. Right? I'm going to show you how to do this in Optimized Press. In Optimized Press, there are 2. And I'll put these in there are 2 pieces of code that you're going to put inside of Optimized Press. Now that's if you're using Optimized Press. Not everybody's going to do that. One of the other things you can do is you can have your delivery page to be on a WordPress site. that's going to be separate from your main site. So in other words, you can deliver a product, and what you're going to do here is I'm going to go to the reading site, and how many of you all can see the button that says discourage search engines from indexing this site? Right, so that's what you can do. What you can do is you can actually deliver your product from a separate URL, and then you can discourage the search engines from indexing that site. And so by doing that, what you're doing is you're kind of keeping it hidden from the search engines. And then what you also want to do is to combine that with a URL, right, that's going to be, and I'll show you how to do this here, and I can actually change this URL inside of WordPress. Right, you want to make that URL something very unique that somebody cannot guess, and then that page is then going to be hidden from the search engines. Right, and it'll also be hidden from people who try to guess your URL. Now, what that will not do is that will not prevent me, if I'm your customer, from sharing it and giving other people access. There's very little you can do about that, right? You can always do that, but all you're really trying to do is just make it, you just don't want to give it away, right? You don't want to make it easy to do that. Right, does that make sense? So everybody with me on that? All right, fantastic. So, okay, so next thing what we're going to do is you're going to have to set up a place for you to deliver the content. And I have 3 suggestions here. One of them is Microsoft. Another one of them is Amazon S3. The other one is going to be Google Drive. And I personally do not use Google Drive, so I know less about that but I do know that some people will deliver their content easily from Google Drive. What I would suggest is either Microsoft or Amazon S3. There are other hosts that are going to be out there, but generally they're going to be the most reliable. Now, here's what I'm going to say about Amazon S3. Amazon S3, you pay for bandwidth. And so if you have a lot of very bulky files, you are going to get a bill from Amazon the next month. Right? So you just need to be aware of that. So you're going to pay every time, you're going to pay for bandwidth when people are downloading. Now, it's not going to be a lot of money, but again, it can add up to, between $50 and $100 if you have lots of heavy files and lots of downloading. And you just don't want to be shocked by that. The next month, on the 3rd or 4th of the month, you're going to get this bill from Amazon, and it will be as a result of people having downloaded lots and lots and lots of your bulky files. One of the ways around that is that you can use a site like Microsoft, and I'll show you this here. And one of the things about Microsoft Online is that you will get 5 terabytes of storage space every time if you pay the monthly fee for Microsoft Office. Right? I think you get 1 terabyte for each user, and if you're the only person using your business Microsoft account, then you're going to have access to all 5 of the IDs. That would mean you have 5 terabytes. Right? So I'm going to go inside of here. Here is Microsoft Online, and fairly easy to use. All we really need to do here is we find the file we're going to upload. We're going to zip it, and then we're going to take that file, and then we're just going to drag it and drop it and upload it to our directory. Right? So with Microsoft Office, you're going to upload it to the directory. And again, at this point in time, as we are talking during this year at this time, 5 terabytes is still quite a bit of space. There may be a time when it's not going to be, right? And you might have to find a different solution or an additional solution. But presently, as long as you have a subscription to Microsoft Office, you get Microsoft OneDrive with it, and you get 1 terabyte per user, and 5 users can actually be on your account. Okay, now, so I'm going to take this download. I'm going to right-click it. I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to make sure that only people that they can't edit it. I'm going to apply the link. I'm going to copy this link. And then I'm going to come back to my download page. All right, let's go back to my download page. I'm going to find my download button. I'm going to put that link inside of my download. Right? I'm going to click Save and Continue. And then we're going to view the link. And then when your customer clicks the link, they will then get the download. Okay, now, some people choose to use Dropbox. I'm not a big fan of that because I don't necessarily want people adding it to their Dropbox. The main reason is because, quite frankly, I forget stuff when it's in Dropbox, and I know that other people will too. And so sometimes you can just kind of load up your support desk, requests that are not unreasonable, but they really happen because, sometimes people will just kind of forget they actually downloaded something. Right? So again, I like for people to have that download right away, and it's very easy to do that inside of Microsoft. One thing that I would not recommend that you do, right, is for you to use your FTP in order to do this. Right? I would not put this on the same domain. I would deliver my content from a different place than I do run my websites. I really do want you to get that. Whether it's Microsoft, Amazon S3, or Google Drive, you want to consider not giving your customers files to download from your actual site, right? Wherever you have your offer. And the reason for that is actually pretty interesting. It's very easy for you to overload your server. I've had that to happen, right? Where you're basically overloading your server and then nothing works, right? Once your server is overloaded. The other thing I will say about Microsoft Online, which made me go to Amazon S3, is that my product had, and I'll even show you. As a matter of fact, I'll even show you the files. Okay, so if you can see here, these files say HP video backgrounds, right? And 370 meg, 302 meg, 449 meg, 409 meg, 429 meg, and so basically, I had about 2 gig of files that I was that I had during a launch, and so people were hitting that page, and Microsoft Online throttled the account. Right? They basically stopped traffic because of those files. Now the rest of the product was fine, but that part that people were downloading at a very fast rate, those big files, Microsoft Online throttled it. That was a live and learn case, and you want to be careful about having really big bulky files and making them available for people to download from that, from a site like that. Okay, next thing on our list here at the top on the right, test your funnel using a second PayPal. If you have 2 PayPal accounts, this is going to be really easy. If you don't, you might have to have a friend to help you. And we're gonna actually make this really easy though. You don't have to worry about just kind of the money transferring. I'm going to show you how to do this here. One of the things that we are going to do is when we run our test offer. Now I'm gonna show you. If I do a test purchase, right? If I do a test purchase, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to click this thing that says test purchase. Now that price is $9.95. Now what I'm going to do prior to the launch, what a test purchase does is we can actually make this live. We can actually do a test purchase before the offer is live. Right? We can do a test purchase before the offer is live. So what that means then is going to mean that before the launch, before it's active, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to set all my prices to 50 cents. That's the minimum. Right? I'm going to set all my prices to 50 cents, and then I'm going to go through a test purchase. Now the reason I'm going to go through a test purchase is because it's not going to count against my statistics that my affiliates will be looking at. Right? Does that make sense? So if you get that, please put the number 4 in the question box. That means my statistics are going to be right because I am not throwing them off. I'm using the test purchase feature. Right? So while you're doing, okay, so Chantel, so here's what's happening. When I use this test purchase link, I'm going to actually buy my own product. And then technically, I'm going to have 4 sales because I'm going to go through each part of the funnel. But it's not really a real sale, right? And it should not count toward my stats. And we don't want it to count toward my stats because all I'm doing is testing the page. And so you can use the test purchase if you don't want it to count toward your statistics. And really and truly, just to be on the ethical up and up, you want to use test purchase anyway, because you do want your stats to be true. Right? Does that make sense, Chantel? Did I do a better job of explaining that? Okay, great. All right. Now when your product is not active, you are going to have to be the one to set your product to go live. It does not go live automatically. And so inside of Warrior Plus, you have to do 2 processes, right? There are 2 processes, and this is really important. And I think I can show you this. I'm going to go back inside of Warrior Plus. If I can find this process, I will show it to you. Okay, so this is just an offer. I am going to add a product to it just so we will have something here. Okay. Does everybody see where it says that this offer is not yet active? Okay. Okay, so right here inside of the offer screen, you see this. It says this offer is not yet active, right? And we have to activate this offer in order to make it live. Right? Now, I'm gonna take a step back and answer a question from Chantel. When you test, is your product live? The answer to that is no. We can actually go through the test purchase, right? Right here, even when the product is inactive, and that's really when you want to go through the process, right? You want to test your funnel before the offer. You want to test to make sure when you click the no thanks link that it goes to the right places. You need to do that before your launch, before you make it active, right? And what I will tell you is that, don't wait till the night of the day of your launch to do this. Try to do this a couple of days ahead of time. If there are any problems, sometimes it takes a good 3, 4, 5 hours to work out, in a worst case scenario. So please do not do this on the day of the launch. Ask me how I know. So, okay, so now when you activate this offer, right? When you activate this offer, it's only going to be private, right? So I'm going to click activate. I don't really want to click activate now. I can actually schedule this launch for a date in the future, or I can say launch it right now, right? So just for the sake of, this, I'm going to activate the launch right now. Now my launch is activated, but my launch is still private, right? My launch is still private. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to now go to my offer settings in order to activate and make it public. So again, you just got to know about this 2-step process. Now, as soon as you push this public button, it's going to be part of the marketplace then, and then it's going to be public. That means everybody's going to be able to see it inside of the marketplace. Now, we're not going to do that, obviously. And in fact, I'm going to go back and turn the active part off, or we can close it. Right? So as soon as we make it public, it's going to be public. But we've got to go through. Okay, so Chantel asked, when it's private, can someone still buy it? And the answer to that is yes. Great question. Right? Can somebody still buy it when it's private? Yep. They certainly can. Sometimes you might do that. You might not put it in the marketplace. Right? You might choose not to put it there for whatever the reason. Maybe you're just running a special offer just for your affiliates. But yes, that's correct. Okay. Now when you are at this point, before you make your product live, you want to go to your autoresponder and you want to send emails to your affiliates. Right? And we've been through a little bit of this process, but just so that you'll see this again, I think it's important to mention that when we allow affiliates, one thing we're going to do is we're going to connect to our autoresponder, and we're going to connect to a JV list. Now, when you do that, just so that you'll know, your affiliates are automatically going to be placed on your email marketing list for affiliates, right? For affiliates. So you want to send an email when your offer goes live. Right, okay, so Chantel is asking, so when it's in the marketplace, does it become searchable? The answer to that is yes. Yep, it becomes searchable. Somebody can go to the marketplace and they can find your offer. That's correct. Another good question. Now, we've just talked about naked links during the launch. Now, hopefully, when you set up your product, you set it up so that you are collecting leads, right? So with every sale, right? You should be collecting leads with every sale. Now, let's look at this for a second here again. Let's just take a look here. At this product. Okay, so this particular product, when somebody buys, they are placed on the list for the Authorpreneur Mandate in Aweber for Me, right? It's automatically placed there. And so we should have a list of buyers in our autoresponder if we have been following the process. Now, the reason that I mentioned this again a second time here at the end is because one of the things you want to do during your launch, let's say that you have a list of people who have purchased your product, and so now we know for a fact that they have the front end, right? We know for a fact they have the front end product. What we don't know is whether or not they have the back end product, right? And so one of the things that we can do inside of our autoresponder is we can do a little automation. And so we can do the same thing, and we can take them off the front end list when they buy the back end, so that when we send an email, we know, right, that this person has not bought the back end. So we can send them the naked link for the upsell, right? We want to send them the naked link for the upsell, and we want to do that throughout the launch. And when we send the naked link, remember, your affiliates are going to have, they're going to have cookied the person. Your affiliates are going to get credit for the sale. So basically what you're doing is, even after the launch, you are helping your affiliates to make more by promoting the back end, and you want to start doing that probably the minute that someone becomes part of your subscriber list. Right, so if you get that, please put the number 5 in the question box if you get that. Okay, so if you don't get that, please put the number 6. Right, yeah, and Chantel says we've purchased upsells like this. We all do, right, because anything happens. Sometimes we don't get sometimes somebody calls us away while we're going through the upsell process. Sometimes we don't, we're not thinking about it, right, while we're going through there, and sometimes we just we're not feeling an upsell when we're buying it. And so later on that evening, we open up our email. We get a nice email from, from the vendor welcoming us and reminding us that, hey, you know what, there's something really cool that's part of the upsell. And then we click on it, we look at it, we're in a better frame of mind. We say, you know what, I'm going to get this now, right? And so that happens. And so, and when you do that the right way, your affiliate makes money. I have this last here in terms of your product launch. And it really is the truth. I have, there have been times where I've heard marketers, and they will resist this, but it is true, affiliates don't necessarily get very personal. And I do want you to know that. Sometimes, there are, marketers have issues with each other. I mean, they're human. But for the most part, if an affiliate gets your product and they promote it and they make money, they will come back for another shot at it, because in their mind they're thinking, well, this is my guy, this is my girl. I'm going to make money with this person, and so if they have another launch, I'm in. Right? That's the way that you get affiliates. You can get affiliates by promoting for them, but typically the way you're going to get affiliates is you make them money. And you want to do everything you can to make them money. Now, I want to leave you with this thought. Why is it important for you to get affiliates, right? What does a product launch do for you ultimately? And if I were to ask that question of you, what do the affiliates ultimately bring you? Yes, they bring you traffic. Yes, they bring you some money, and even if you pay them 100%, you're going to make some. But what do the affiliates really bring you? Right? They bring you buyers that you would not have had. And so basically, what you paid for in terms of commissions is the same thing you would have had to go out and advertise for if you were doing Facebook ads. So that's the way to look at it, right? So if you, let's say that you made $1,000, but you think, well, man, I paid out $500 in affiliate commissions. Well, if a lot of those buyers were new buyers, right? You now have 100 new leads that are now part of your marketing funnel. You have 100 people that are now part of your list because this affiliate, right? This affiliate sent you traffic, and so you want to help that affiliate do it again. Right? And so all you're doing with a launch, right, is growing your list. Now, you don't want to live from launch to launch, right? You don't want to do that forever. But when you're doing this, what you're doing is you are putting yourself in position to build a business. Yeah, and Chantel makes a great point. This also builds your authority as well, right? The more affiliates that you have, the more times they're out promoting for you, you are really building your authority. When you have a lot of people who are saying, hey, you know what, this person's got something really cool. And then they come back another month later and they say, hey, do you remember this? Do you remember this person? They've now got something even super cooler, right? So the way to look at this is that you want to try to keep your, to keep, what is it, I guess what from The Godfather, they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Well, I mean, we can, let's substitute and say, keep your, keep your affiliates close and your customers closer. But keep your affiliates close, right? Keep your affiliates close and keep your customers closer. But do keep them, right? Continue to build your relationship. And I guess, again, let me just re-stress this. The best way to build your relationship with an affiliate is to make them money. It's really not all that personal. If they make money with you, they come back. If they don't, they'll be nice to you, but they may or may not promote you. All right? Any questions as we finish this section? Any questions? All right, very good. Well, this is the end of week 4 of our product launch, and we have actually gone through the entire process. And I hope that this has been helpful for you, and that you will actually be able to go back through this. Use this as your companion guide to set up your launch on Warrior Plus. And we appreciate your being willing and able to participate in this workshop. With that, thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care. Okay, so welcome to the wrap-up session of the product launch live workshop. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over a few things in Warrior Plus that when you know how to use them, they're going to make your life easier. And what you're looking at is a screen that we've talked about here in the workshop, and it is the offer setting. And as you know, we have different products inside of an offer. So the offer is what we put together, and it is actually the funnel. So in other words, if I scroll down to the bottom of what's called this offer map, in other places it's called the funnel. So if I take this product and I decide I'm going to connect it to this one, I'm going to make this one advanced product launch, the upsell, you're going to see that in the offer map. We actually did that in this session. We're going to do that one more time. I'm going to add an upsell, and I'm going to make the upsell the advanced product launch. You're going to see that now change. And we're going to see now that you're no longer getting the message that says that this page is not in your funnel. And you look down here at the bottom, you're going to see now that this offer map is part of the funnel. We can then take another one of these offers and we can make this offer a downsell. So in other words, I can then go to this button, I can add a downsell, and I can take another offer and then make that the downsell. And what you're going to see is that in the offer map, it's going to appear differently. Does everyone see that? Does everyone see that there in the offer map, the difference between the upsell and the downsell in Warrior Plus? So if you see it, please put the letter Y in the question box if you understand what you're looking at. Okay, very good. Now, one thing that I do want to tell you about here is you're going to notice that I have an offer that's part of the funnel, but that I don't have connected to as an upsell or a downsell. And I do that on purpose. Now, this is something that needs some testing, but what's happening when you do a launch is that affiliates are actually sending you traffic. And in some cases, how many of you have come to a page during a product launch and you'll get the opportunity to opt in before you make a decision? How many of you have had that experience? If you've had that experience, put the number 2 in the question box. So you'll get to the page, you haven't really decided whether or not you're going to buy the product or not, and then a box appears giving you the opportunity to get something like a free report or free PLR or something like that. Yeah. Now, there is a problem with that, and that is that let's say that I am your affiliate and I am going to be sending you traffic. And what's happening is that you are sending people to what is effectively another offer before they've actually seen the offer that I sent the traffic to you for. So in other words, your lead list is going to grow, mind you, but I may not profit. And so one of the things that you can actually do is that you can actually set up an offer so that when the buyer actually clicks away, they decide, okay, I don't want to take advantage of the offer, so they click out of the offer. You can actually send them to an exit pop. And I'm going to show you that here again inside of OptimizePress. Now, it works differently inside of just about any other page builder. You'll have to find the way it works inside of yours. I am just going to show this to you because the point is instructive. It's not so much about the particular way you do it in OptimizePress. The point is that you want to have an exit pop, but you don't want to cheat your affiliates. And that's really what I'm trying to impress upon you tonight is it's fine to have an exit pop. It is not fine to have that exit pop cheat the affiliates, because if I click away from that page as the buyer and I click on to another page, the affiliate is not going to get paid. Does that make sense? If that makes sense to you, please put the number 2 in the question box. If it doesn't, let me know and I'll try to explain it better. Okay, so what I can do in OptimizePress, and again, it's going to be different in other settings, is I can go inside of here and I can do what's called an exit redirect. And I can actually redirect them to another URL if they decide to exit the page. Now, what I'm doing in this page is that I am setting up an offer that the affiliate is now approved for. And I'm going to actually send people to this offer if they click away. So in other words, they're going to get an offer if they click away. It's going to be an exit offer, and the affiliate still has the opportunity to get credit for the sale. Does that make sense? So in other words, we do give the buyer or the prospect another offer to consider. At the same time, though, we don't cheat the affiliate. Okay, so if you get that, please put the number 3 in the question box. Now again, that might be a little more than you want to do on a product launch, but when you can actually give people another offer, maybe they don't like the offer as it stands. Maybe they want something totally different. If you understand what the traffic is, you can actually put another offer in front of them that they might buy. Right? Now that's the offer screen. What I want to show you also here is what's called a JV contract. And how many of you understand the difference between a JV and affiliate? How many of you understand the common definition between, with the difference in definitions between a JV and an affiliate? Okay, Danny, you did good. You do good. A JV is basically where you and I are going to be partners on a product. An affiliate actually gets paid a commission. So as a JV partner, you and I are going to split the profits in some way. And we have to determine that before we actually decide to sell a product. And one of the ways that we do that inside of Warrior Plus is we set up a JV contract. And so you will come inside of this screen in Warrior Plus, and you're going to click New Contract. Right now, there are several different contract types. So we can have a full JV, and that's what you're going to have most of the time. So in other words, I'm going to be doing the writing, Dana's going to be doing the videos. So we're going to split this 40-60. So Dana's going to get 60% of every sale, of all the profit. I'm going to get 40%, or however you decide to split it up. And so what we would do is we would decide that, okay, we're going to set up one of our offers. We're going to say now that, let's say this offer, the Ultimate Insider 30-Day Challenge, we're going to have a JV contract. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a partner, right? And so in this particular case, I'm just going to just select this partner. And so what's going to happen is your JV partner, if you're going to split some of the profit with them on Warrior Plus, they're going to need to have a Warrior Plus account. So that's, and they should already have PayPal, granted, but they are going to need to have a Warrior Plus account if you're going to do a partnership on Warrior Plus. So if you get that, please put the number 4 in the question box. If you understand that makes sense to you. Okay, so we're going to decide what we're going to share, right? So I'm going to decide that I'm going to give this person, let's say 40%. Now, notice that you have here a start date and an end date. Now, let's say that you are going to be the person that is going to be handling the account. You're going to be doing support. You're going to be handling customer complaints. You're going to be doing the after sale webinar, but you didn't create the whole product. So what you're going to do with your partner is you're going to give them 40%, but you're only going to do it during the period of the launch. So you're not going to do it forever. You're going to agree up front that, hey, you know what, I need your help to create this. So for the 5 days that we're going to do the launch, I'm going to give you 40%. But they shouldn't get 40%, or I mean, unless you really determine that you want to do a partnership with this way, you don't have to give that person 40% forever. Right? You're going to give it to them for what they did, which was to put together the product launch. But now that you're doing all the work, you want to make sure that your time is being compensated. And that's one of the ways you do that. So we can actually say that they're going to get 40% until, let's say, the end of August. Let's say that the launch, well, it starts, let's say, tomorrow, and it goes to the end of August. Right? And so we're gonna set that limit. Now, the other thing that we can do is we can say that beyond $1,000, right? That's generous. We're going to say that outside of $1,000, excuse me, this person's contribution, we should probably cap their contribution at $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000. So if the project makes a lot of money, right, we're not going to give them everything. Right? We're going to give them a hefty sum of what the launch is worth, but we're going to say that at $1,000, that's the maximum that we're going to pay to this JV for their contribution. Does that make sense? Is everybody with me on that? So if you get that, please put the number 5 in the question box. You understand that? All right, so the other thing that we can do is we can say that if we sell 2,000 copies, then we're going to say that this partnership, this person is going to get paid 40% for the first 2,000 copies. We could say that if we wanted to, right? It's optional. You don't have to put anything in there. But we could say that if we have 2,000 copies of this product sold, and we start having copies beyond that, then that's going to be the end of us paying 40%, this sizable profit. Because once again, you need to protect your time in a JV relationship, especially if you're going to be doing the work after the launch. So anything that's going to be post-launch, you want to make sure that you're compensated for. And anything that's leading up to the launch, you want to make sure that the partner who helped you to create the product is actually compensated for. Now, we just go ahead, we give this contract a name. I'm not going to say this contract, but we would give the contract a name, and then that contract would be part of our JV contracts inside of Warrior Plus. We can do this contract or this kind of contract for every launch we do. We can have as many partners as we want. So if we want to have another partner, now what I will say about that is this, and I found this out on a launch where I was a 6th partner, that JVZoo, or a 4th partner. Now JVZoo has a limit on how many times it will split an instant commission. So in other words, when a product sells, what happens is the outfit like Warrior Plus or JVZoo, they'll start splitting the payments. So in other words, the JV will get theirs, or the affiliate will get theirs first. Then the JV will take what's left and they'll split it amongst JV partners. Now, PayPal will only let you do that 6 times. So the first split is going to actually happen to Warrior Plus. The second split is actually going to happen to the affiliate. The third split will start happening with the JVs. So you can probably have a maximum of 3 additional JV partners. When you get to the 4th, when you get beyond the 4th, you might have a problem because JVZoo will stop splitting, and it's going to give the last person the shares of, let's say, the 5th JV. So I know that was kind of a lot, but if you get what I just said, please put the number 6 in the question box. If you didn't, I'll try to explain it better. Right? If you need me to explain it better, put the number 7 in the question box. That'll help me. You need to try to explain that again. So again, you can have as many partners as you want up until 4. And beyond 4, you're going to have the instant splits are not going to work in the very same way. So you just want to be careful going beyond 4 partners on any project. And there are cases where you could have that on a software project. I've seen some software cases where you have 5 or 6 people on a project. And what happens is typically there could be a partner that will actually split with one of the other partners as opposed to putting everybody on this JV split. Okay, so that's the JV contract. Okay, so what we can also do is we can also set a contest. You want to set this contest before you actually get started with the launch. So we can actually set up a contest and we can decide what the offer is. Now, when we do a contest, you're doing it for the entire offer. You can do it for individual products within an offer, but you want to generally try to do that for an entire offer that is launching. So we can decide, okay, we're going to do this for a particular offer. We're going to say we want this to be for all of the products in the funnel, right? We're going to give the contest a name. So in other words, we're going to call this the workshop contest. We're going to give it a little description. That's really for the people who are participating in the contest, and the contest is going to be for your affiliates. So the only people that are going to see this contest are going to be the affiliates, that are going to be promoted. So you might want to write something in here like contest for $500. Most sales. Just something descriptive that tells people what the contest is at a glance. You want to give your contest a start and end date. So you might say it's going to be August 4th at midnight to August 7th at midnight. Now, you're going to have a certain number of winners and a certain number of losers. Well, not losers. That's a little bit harsh. What you're going to do here is you're going to say only 5 people are going to be compensated if they bring sales, right? So you're going to put the maximum number in there. Now, you don't have to outline what each person is going to be paid. Warrior Plus is going to show you who's in first place, who's in second place, who's in third place. And you can actually highlight that in the contest. I'll show you what that means here in a minute. So I might put in here, I'm going to have 5 winners. And then the only maximum I'm going to number display is going to be 10. I can decide whether or not this is going to be a public contest or a private contest. So in other words, I can decide that I'm not going to show this contest to everybody. And in some cases, you may not want to show the contest to everybody. And if your numbers are not what you like them to be, you can actually make this contest private, right? So we can decide that this contest is going to be private. We're going to click Create. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually show you, I'm going to show you a contest here. And show you a contest here. All right, so here are contests. And each one of these depends on how well the affiliates actually do. So let's take a look at the mini mystery profit formula launch contest. So she's choosing, okay, this one hasn't started. So let's choose one that has already started. And let's see, start date 8/11. Let's sort for start date. And let's see. See if we can find one here. Okay, here's one that has started. Instant profit swipes. Okay, so here's the contest. And it ends on August 10th. So you can see the affiliates that are actually promoting and where we're showing the top 3 who are going to get prize money. But we want to show 9 because we want the other people to look at their place and keep promoting. And so we make this public, and you'll notice here that this vendor says first place gets $250, but they got to have a minimum number of 100 sales. Second place, $150. Third place, 100 minimum number of sales. Right? It says everybody in the top 20 leaderboard will get full funnel resale rights 30 days after the launch date. All right? Any questions about the contest and about what they're for? Okay, so if the contest makes sense to you, please put the number 6 in the question box if you get it. All right, very good. So you don't have to do a contest. Contests are, I'd say, optional. In some cases, they're going to bring more people to your page. In other cases, if you have affiliates who know how to promote your particular kind of product and you're going to incentivize them with 100% commissions, you don't necessarily have to do a contest, right? You can do one. We're going to take a look now at coupons. And the coupon in Warrior Plus is very interesting. And there's a 2-step process. And I'm going to show you what that process is. And we're going to click New Coupon. And we can either generate a code or we can write a code. And because the customer is not going to actually see the code, it really doesn't matter. So for example, I could say that this is going to be Ultimate Insider is the code. Right now, there are a couple of kinds of coupons that you can actually set up in Warrior Plus. You can do a discount or you can do a new price. We can decide that our coupon is going to be for 20% off. We can make it active at a certain date, let's say at the launch date, say 9 a.m. We can have it expire 3 days after the launch date, 9 a.m. Now, there is a feature inside of a coupon called max uses. So what we can do is we can actually inject scarcity into the coupon. So in other words, we tell people, well, look, there are going to be about 50 of these discounts available. And you don't have to try to create false scarcity. You just input the scarcity in here. So in other words, you say, there are going to be 50 people that can use a coupon, and you mean it. You do need to try to hold to what you're going to do in terms of scarcity, and it's a lot easier to do if it's automated. You can actually do that inside of Warrior Plus. So that's where you come with the max uses. So what we can do here is we can actually decide we're going to do this with a specific offer and a specific product. Right? So it's got to be a specific offer and a specific product within the product, or we can actually just do it to a specific offer, right? Not any particular product. We can assign this to a particular buyer or a particular affiliate. Now, the affiliate assignment is kind of interesting because what's going to happen when you actually do a launch is you're going to actually have someone come back to you and say, hey, you know what? I would have liked to have promoted this, but now you've already raised the price. Are you willing to give me a coupon so that I can then promote this to my list and have them get the launch price? And the way you do that inside of Warrior Plus is right here. What you're going to do is you're going to assign this to a specific affiliate. Now what's going to happen is that we're going to save this coupon. But when this affiliate sends traffic to our sales page, their buyers are going to get 20% off. Right? It's going to happen all automatically. The buyers are not going to have to enter a code. They're not going to have to memorize anything. They're going to have to do anything. They're going to click the link, and it's going to give them the discount. Right? So if that makes sense to you, please put the number 7 in the question box if you get that. Okay, if you need me to explain it again, I'll explain it again. So if you need me to explain it again, put the number 8 in the question box. All right, very good. So looks like you guys are getting it. Okay, so when I save this coupon, that means then that only this affiliate is going to get the discount, only this one. Everybody else that comes to the sales page is going to see the regular price. Now, I would not make a habit of giving one affiliate one price and another affiliate and all the other affiliates another price after the launch. I wouldn't make a habit of that, because again, you are going to have people that are going to buy after the actual launch. You don't want to be in a position where they actually end up getting an email that says, hey, you can get this now for 20% less than you would have gotten it before. And somebody said, well, yeah, I got to the launch late and I bought it at the whole price. So, but you gave these people a discount. You don't want to be in a position where you have to answer that. So this is a neat feature to have. I would say you don't want to make a big habit of doing this after the launch, and especially after you have raised the price. Right? It's pretty important. Now, another way to do a coupon inside of Warrior Plus is going to be new price. Right? So what we can say is that when this affiliate, when people hit the button, we want them to get a new price if they get the coupon. Right? And we can do the same thing. We can say it's active. We can say that we're only going to have this to go to 100 people. And we can actually then limit it to a specific offer. Right? And what we can do is we can actually set it up so that it doesn't necessarily have to go to any particular, let's say any particular affiliate. We can decide we want to give this to all of our new customers, right? All of our new customers, we want them to get the new price of $9.95. So what we're going to do, we're going to save this coupon, right? Okay, so let's see. We do have to do a specific product. Okay, so now we've had the coupon set up, Ultimate Insider. So now what we're going to do, and this is a little bit, this might be a little complicated, but let's go to this one. And what we're going to do is we would actually go and get the button code. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to get a tracking link. And let's see. Let's go back here. We're going to go back here for a second, and I'm going to create something specifically for this offer. So it's going to be inside of Product Launch Workshop and Minimalist Lifestyle. So there it is, Minimalist Lifestyle. All right. And we're going to say Insider or Workshop Test. We're going to make the new price $9.95 or $7, we'll say. We'll make it active as of now. And we're going to save this coupon. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to now get this particular code. We're going to go and get a tracking link. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a sub ID. And we're going to call this sub ID Workshop Page. We're going to click this little blue link. And then we're going to assign a coupon. And then there is our coupon that we just created. But what happens then is that the link that you're going to give people is going to be this one. Now again, I realize that that can be a little, there's some twists and turns in there, but you should be able to kind of follow what we did. We had to go in and create a coupon code, but we had to come back to the actual place where people are going to be clicking the link to actually put it so that when they click the button, they're going to get the actual price. Right? So once again, if you miss that, just watch this a couple of times. Again, it's not necessarily all that straightforward. It works very well, but you do have to understand the whole business about getting a tracking link in order to create a new link that you're going to actually have to give people in order for them to get the discount. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions about what we've done so far? Any questions? Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to go to the custom commission rules. And we're going to actually use custom commission for the case where, let's say that during a launch, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the affiliates to bring you as much traffic as you can. And so one of the ways that you're going to do that is you're going to incentivize them with 100% commissions. But after the launch, you don't necessarily want to give the affiliates a custom commission. And so you can determine that here in this commission rule. So you're going to click New Rule. You are going to say, I want a time-limited rule. I want it for a specific offer. Now, I can decide now that after there's a specific time that starts, I want to give a specific commission based on that timing, right? A specific one based on the timing, okay? Now, once the time ends, the rate is actually going to change back. So here's how you would actually do this. you would actually do something a little different when you create your offer. You would say then that the regular rate is going to be 50% for your affiliates, but from the time of the launch, the 4th at 9 p.m. through the 7th at 9 p.m., we're going to pay 100% commissions. After that period ends, it's going to revert back to the regular rate of 50%. So in this case, you would not set your commission rate when you're setting up the product. You would set that at the rate that you want the commission to be after the launch. You would set the commission rate for the launch as the special rate. So if you get that, please put the number 8 in the question box if you get that part. Okay, so these are some things that are going to make your life a little easier when you are actually launching, especially if you're going to have a partner, especially if you want to make sure that your affiliates don't get cheated, especially if you want to make sure that you maximize your own profits during after the launch, right? Once you're taking over and support and all the other stuff, you want to maximize your profits. And one of the ways you do that is you make the launch period the period where you're going to give away 100%, unless for some reason you are going to want to extend it beyond that. But generally, you want to stop giving that. Now, of course, you could just go into your product and you could change the commission rate. You could do that, right? You could do it manually. But you can actually set it so that if you, for some reason, forget about doing it, or you come to the point and you don't have time, or you're not in a position where you can go to your computer, you can actually set this up so that it works automatically, right? And this, you can actually do all of that inside of Warrior Plus. Okay, any questions? Any questions on anything that we have done tonight? These are some things that we needed to do to finish up the unit on launching on Warrior Plus. And what you should have now is you should have a bird's eye view and the ability now to set up your launch on Warrior Plus. You have all the tools and you have everything that you need other than to create your product. So if there are no questions, we are going to end this session here. We appreciate you all being here. Thank you very much. Have a great night, a great day, and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.